y'all, welcome back to the channel, or welcome here if you're new. Thank you for being here, y'all. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got a little bit to talk about today. I think you'll find it interesting, some of the information about next week's energy, but let's talk about this energy that we're in right now first. I'm going to consult a couple of decks today, just whatever jumps at me, and the first thing that jumped out at me was the Grace card deck. So Horatio, I'm going to pull one or two cards, whatever comes out for us, to give us a little heads up on what's floating around us right now. And it's a lot. It's a lot going on in the celestial realm, and y'all know, as I've said many times before, no one's exempt from this. Okay, we're all in this energy, and why not have a heads up on what's going on? And that gives us a little bit of direction on how we can field the incoming and work with the energies to our betterment. Okay, so let me just get one more shuffle on this. And you know, I always do these, I always pre-shuffle all my decks. I've become kind of manic about all of that, y'all. But sometimes I just want to shuffle them on camera. Okay, so I'm just going to fan spread the deck and see whatever jumps into my finger. And we'll see the modality of the moment, as it were. I hope y'all are doing all right. I know there's a lot going on, especially if you're in the United States. Things are getting a little crazy. But look, you know what? We've been talking about on this channel for a very long time about, fantastic, about doing just this, about, I love it when this happens, connect. About connecting to our wise self, our inner self, sometimes the directive is to completely immerse yourself into the reality in front of you. You know, that's the be here now energy. But that is I'm so glad this is coming up. This was Spirit message yesterday. But that's very different in fixating on the world order, fixating on the reality that presents itself, because number one, not all is as it seems even now. And if we become emotionally heavily invested in what the 3D is presenting to us now, it's very hard to hold on to our visualizations and our good vibrations to create the future that we want, right? Okay, so connect is your card. I know, it's beautiful. It's very beautiful. These are the Grace cards by Cheryl Richardson, and there are two artists on this deck, and they're both great. This one's Christophe Vacher. I think that's what it is. V-A-C-H-E-R. Could be Vacher. We don't know. Find your center. Okay, when we stay connected to our spiritual core, the best and most advantageous path unfolds before us. If we are completely fixated on what has popped up in our 3D reality, that ain't happening. Okay, we're constantly giving our energy away to a fictitious that has popped up in front of us. And I know. You're like, well, but this affects this and this and this. How can it be a fictitious? Everything outside ourselves is a dramatic. Okay, it's a dramatic. It's a show. It's a setup. And our perception is our domain. Our perception is how we can control how we perceive the reality that pops up around us. And the only way to do any of that control work of your perception without letting it be carried away by the eventuals of your physical day is to stay connected to your inner core. You know, you have a wise self inside that will absolutely talk you off the ledge if you will listen, if you will be receptive, if you'll open up to that. Okay, and this is how it happens. These are the things that unfold before us that are synchronistic and so fantastic, and you're like, wow, okay, that kind of thing. That's when we're open and receptive. We are not open and receptive when we are fixated on another reality that we have nothing to do with in reality. Okay, so I know that was kind of a Jeffy move there, a little roundabout way of just saying, look, the directive right now for all of us humans, especially the ones who feel like there's a lot of strife and a lot of chaos in the vicinity, in our 3D, world, is to absolutely connect with our inner self and start to focus on how we are expressing into the world. Are we expressing a lot of fear and anxiety? Because what we express is what we're creating for our future. And I know, it's like, but we're humans, we're exalted beings, and we've been, I don't know how this happened, but the few over the many, and they've been trying to tell us for eons that we are, basically pathetic, mere human beings, which couldn't be further from the truth. You are a masterful creature. Yes, you have a physical brain that is subject to programming, input by any direction, but you also are equipped with a will. That's why they call it willpower, and the will and the mind are in tandem. Those things can oppose the programming and the perceptions of the brain. And this may be a new concept for you, brain versus mind. But that's what it's coming down to now. Your brain is receiving all kinds of input from the outside world telling you should feel this, and you should feel fear, and you should feel this, and blah, blah, blah. But you also have this thing inside of you that is called will, which is connected to your mind. Your mind can override programming that your brain receives either intentionally or unwittingly. Okay? So it's time to connect with our wise selves. Find your center. When we stay connected to that spiritual core, the best and the most advantageous things happen for us. Okay? That's how those happen. Because otherwise they get shrouded in this perception that all is lost, all is not good, all is chaos, all is in demise. If you're feeling that, if you're willing that, if you're focused on that, that's what we will experience. And so our job right now is to change our focus, use your willpower, use your mind to control your brain functions, and tell your brain to sit down. You and the ego go in the back seat and look out the window and play some sort of numbers game, while me, my mind, my willpower, and my strength, my inner core, my strength, take control of the visuals in my head so that I can create something other than what I see that I don't like. Okay? It is definitely time to get out our vision boards, y'all. I know that seems so contrary to what's going on, but I've got to go. I've got to be concerned with this. I've got to look at this. I've got to make sure that Congress does. I've got to make sure. That's fine if you want to play that game. But your life is calling you right now. Your life wants your attention right now. That's what I'm feeling. Our lives are calling our attention right now. We are being distracted right now from huge energies that are presenting themselves that have never been in our lifetime and never will be again in our lifetime through these astrological components. All of the new movements in the celestial area, it's like that is energy that we can capitalize on if we don't remain completely distracted by these earthly, dramatics. Okay, I'm just going to leave it like that. And I'm feeling like maybe we need to figure out what part of us, what elemental of us we can draw on to do what this card is suggesting, is get connected, stay connected to our spiritual core. So, I'm going to use the Power of the Elements Oracle deck. I'm trying to get the glare off of it. How about that? Yeah. And this morning when I was pulling mine, I got a water card, emotionality, and I'm going to tell you something. We are going to be awash in emotionality, so I'm going to talk in a minute about how we can forge through the energies that are coming toward us pretty rapidly. The full moon is not until the middle of next week, but with the moon energies, we always can get caught in those drags ahead of time, and certainly for days after. But this was the one I got. It was the number 8, which is life path, and this is forgiveness. Forgiveness. And this is about compassion. Be careful of emotional eruptions, and this couldn't be any more timely, because next week is going to be a little volatile just because of the emotionality, the nature of something happening. Let me look. I'm going to look real quick before we do this. First of all, Mars is still retrograde in Cancer, and then is going to be hanging around Chiron, which is the wounded healer. Then you've got, I mean, it's insane. It's yeah, with Mars in retrograde, still in retrograde in Cancer, that's the energy that's heavy right now with the volatility of this big, huge moon, where egos might be at play. And trust me, in this one, you don't want to need to be the winner. Okay, this is, if there was ever any higher ground energy, this is the one you want. You want to take the higher ground. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So really be on your P's and Q's. That's from me to you. Okay, just don't engage. You know, and if it's coming from you, like, I've done all of this for you, why aren't you? Let it go. Let anything that even sniffs, even has a whiff of pettiness, let it go. It doesn't matter. What you do in your world, the expressions that you make are your karma. So it doesn't matter if you've done something for someone and they're not giving it back to you. You will get it back. But you're never guaranteed that you're going to get it back from the same quarter. Just keep being you. Keep being the good you. And that's another energy that's going to come up next week. That's the capitalize on this, the caretaker, the caregiver, the mother, the empathizer. That energy is going to be right there for you to capitalize on, and that will give you the wiggle room out of the emotional response or reaction energy that's going to be abounding too. If you can default to your compassion side, you're going to have it made. You're going to have it made. So look, like I said, just try really hard to stay on the side of being the higher guy, higher girl, having the higher energy. Just let stuff go. That is definitely the mode of this moon. All right, just let it go. And just know that Source has got your back, and if you're giving, that's all. That's all. That's all. You do not have to extend yourself and then wait around for it to come back. It will come back, but it may not be coming from the direction that you're gazing. So you just get busy with yourself. You completely stay immersed in your own reality, in your own expressions. Be happy that you were able and willing to do whatever it is that you were doing for another person, and don't wait for it to come back. And trust me, if somebody else is bringing that energy to you, like, I did this for you, how come you're not doing what I want you to do? You know what? Just do your best and stay grounded, and try hard not to overreact. Try hard not to react at all. If you must respond, respond with all the love that you can summon, okay? All right, so I just did shuffle this deck a few times. Now let's see what kind of elemental we can use to help ourselves stay connected with ourselves. Number one, I'm going to say gratitude, because gratitude is everything. Okay, this is good. We got, what is this? I think this is again an 8. Let's see, 10 and 5, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 17, which is 8. So 8. Personal life journey number 8. And this card says, if you can't read it, let's see if I can get it up closer. I don't think. Peaceful reflection. Spend time reflecting within. Staying connected to your spiritual core. Shutting down all of that stuff outside. I mean, not completely. You can't do it completely. I mean, I know that. But we can also not sit 24/7 gazing at our computers or gazing at our televisions or our watches, watching the drama that's unfolding around us in the world. We have to be able to bring our own spirits up to be a positive influence in this collective motion. If we keep adding our own anxiety to an anxiety-filled situation, the scale is completely out of balance, okay? So it's up to you, it's up to me, it's up to we who know better, and now you know better, okay? To take our eyes off of the show for just a few minutes and really concentrate on driving ourselves on our own lane, okay? So connect with our wise self, and we can use some of our emotional energy toward ourselves. Have compassion with yourself. Let yourself off the hook of the propagandist energy that is going to be swirling around us for at least the next year and a half, 2 years, whatever. Okay, we just got to get through this year, and the way to do it is to stay connected with the real deal. That's the real deal, okay? That's the real show. The real show is what you do and how you do and what you're doing in your world and what you're bringing to your own life. And the only way to bring something that is fun to navigate, happy to navigate, challenging but exciting to navigate is to stay in that mode of gratitude. Like, okay, I see all this weirdness, but look, I got this other stuff going on. I'm going to stay in a mode of compassion. I'm going to stay in a mode of service. And that's another big highlight of this full moon. Look, we've got, let's see, I think this is where I've got this note. Okay, well, it's a Leo full moon. Let's see. Okay, and I wrote some pulse points about that. Okay, first it's about healing, service, enthusiasm, stepping up into our strength, but not being overbearing. Doing that with that erring on the side of a compassionate leader. Okay, and using our courage to do that. Using our courage to stay stood in our own energy without being sucked into this dramatic vortex that might be happening out in our world. Okay, and it's really important right now. This is big energy that we can use to manifest, and this, whatever is happening around the end of this week and around next week, it has something to do with Mars. Okay, and I think this is when Mars is going to go direct, and it's going to echo at the end of next month, which would be February, March, end of March. It's going to, or maybe the second-ish week of March, something like that. I don't know, somewhere around then, about a month away. It's going to echo what we were allowing to transpire in our energy. Okay, so it's important that we focus on our own energy and be the caregivers in the guard, the guard of the gate of our own soul, of our own frequency. Okay, because the frequency can be affected, just like our brains, but we have the power to maintain our own frequency. No one can take that from us if we are guarding our own energy, if we are connected to ourselves, to our higher spirit, to our higher mind, to the mind that doesn't need to be glued to the drama that's unfolding around us. Okay, we don't need to add to that side of the scale. Trust me, we really don't, because it's like that right about now. Oh, sorry about that. I'm trying to maintain like my voice because and sometimes I get a little rowdy. Underneath this deck also, you're looking at earth energy, life lessons, acknowledge and release for renewal. And that's all about that. Oh, how about that? Is that a little better? That's a little better. That's the energy of next week. Take it as a life lesson. If somebody's letting you down, if somebody is not supporting you like you thought they might, well, take it as a life lesson. Don't hold a grudge. Just let it go. Be of service to yourself by not overly investing in that emotionally. Get creative with yourself. Get creative with your life and utilize this energy that's happening out in the celestials to think around the ends, to run ends, to think outside the box, to be self-sufficient, to be of service to others, but mostly to yourself. Be of service to yourself. That way, we don't have that constant connection with other energies, other people who are not stepping up to the plate for us. And because that just causes this victim mentality. We don't need that. We don't need that. We've got ourselves. Okay? We do. All right. And I'm going to pull. Let's do one card from Rider-Waite, just because I love this deck. It is still so slippery. Hopefully I won't embarrass myself on camera, because usually I do these. I don't even know how to edit these videos. I can kind of cut off the back end, but I really don't know how to do anything else. So there's no start and stopping on these. And I do want to say thank you again for being here. Y'all, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free and it means a lot to me, and maybe you'll get something out of these messages once in a while, which is great. If you want to share the video, I'm always up for that. I appreciate y'all doing that, because for me, this small channel If you like the video and you share the video, it means gobs to my channel. So I appreciate that too. All right, y'all. Let me just see if I can. That one wanted to pop. All right. Let me just get a handle on it. I get excited when I'm doing these cards. Okay, we've got one out. I don't want to do a story time right now. I keep trying to keep some of these videos short and I end up in story time, but you know, the cards are the cards. They want to say what they want to say. All right, we got through that. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. So you may be, and this is another thing, you know, with full moon energy, it's about a culmination. It's not quite the end, you know. It's not quite the end, but you're achieving something. So something is culminating possibly for you. Hooray, congratulations. And the card that popped out is Devil. Devil, but it popped out like that. Okay? So either way, to me, I read this as there might be a lot of chaos. There might even be internal chaos. There might be things that are coming back. Might be revisiting an old habit or an old emotional experience, something like that. But you go ahead and have that peaceful reflection on those things and go ahead and process. This is the time to process. Let these things come up, let them culminate. Devil ain't got nothing on you. These energies are gone. These things are gone the minute you say they're gone. Okay? Because your wise self will tell you that there is no demon. It's all about perception. Okay? And something may knock at your door. The energies do support a come round, a possible come round of something that maybe you thought you'd put to bed or that you never expected to come back around. I want you just to look at it, talk to it, embrace it, and then tell it to be on its way. If it's not something that's going to serve your purpose, you have the right and the power to absolutely release. And that is another thing that we can be doing through this full moon energy. It's the perfect time to gather and release. And remember, you can't release something if you haven't embraced it or held it. You can't let something go that you don't have, that you don't hold, that you don't look at, that you don't assign to yourself, that you don't take credit for and control of. Okay? So if you don't bring it in and make it yours, you have no way to let it go. That's our work. That's hard work, and that's human hard work right there. But you've got a lot of energy supporting you right now. You got the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups. Under the deck, underlying theme of the whole reading is the Nine of Cups. It's good. It's good stuff coming if you'll allow it to come. If you will move aside some of those things that have been filtering in from the outside and make some room for your best visualizations, because that's another message. Dream big. Now, we just had that message just a couple of weeks ago. Well, hey, how you doing? It's back, okay? So I want you to divert your attention from those sparkly things going on out there, okay? Take advantage of this moon energy, and like I said, it will hit you days before. And we're looking at the full moon technically on the Julian calendar is the 12th of February 2025. But right now we're in the middle of the prior week. I think it's around the 5th or the 6th here at the lair. So we've got plenty of time to get ourselves in gear, to anchor ourselves in positivity. And the big thing is when any other energy starts to gripe at you or demand from you, ground yourself in gratitude. Think of the things that make you happy and grateful to be in this world, to be in this life, to have had that association. Even if something's not serving you anymore, there had to be a good reason somewhere along the way that they graced your presence, that they graced your life. So if something comes back around, or if someone abruptly takes a turn in your world that you didn't see coming, look, give it some grace, give it your compassion. Understand that the world, it's not all about you. Their world is not all about you. Only your world is all about you. And sometimes we forget that. Kind of give our energy over to other people, other people's lives and drama, other scenarios in the world, when really right now it's all about focusing on ourselves. Because if we can keep ourselves together, then we can help keep everything else together. That's what will enter into the collective unity. And that will help balance these scales a little bit. And you're not here for no reason. There's a reason that you're here. This is a higher order channel. I didn't expect it to go viral immediately. I'm a niche. You are a niche audience. There is not a good reason that you're here or that you're not here. You know what I mean. There's a reason that you showed up here. There's a reason for these messages. And even if I don't come out with them the right way, there's something here for you. Everything is on purpose here. It's not random, okay? So I understand that I am not appealing yet to the masses because the masses are wholly distracted. But you and I, we can make a huge difference when we curtail our emotionality to dramatics that actually have no fundamental, realization in our world if we don't want them to. Okay, if we don't want something to set up, because we got Saturn influence too. So, and the other thing I want to touch on really quick about this energy coming up, you got the Leo energy, but also Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet of expansion, good luck, good fortune, expansion. Think about that. But it doesn't have an opinion. So whatever you're putting out, whatever you're carrying, the vibration you're carrying, the frequency you're carrying, it's going to proliferate that. Your work here is going to be proliferated. So let it be good work. Let it be good vibes. Let it be compassionate. Let it be of service. Don't let it be of this petty arrogance. Don't do any of that, because that also will expound for you. Okay? It's all about how you're expressing right now, and these things are going to take your energy and do what they will with them. And so that's why I'm trying to give you just a little guidance on this. And this deck is just calling me, so real quick we're going to do this one. This is the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. Okay. Now I'm just going to give it a quick shuffle, and we'll see what comes out for us. One Oracle card to close the reading. And it sounds like a jumbled mess. That's because it's kind of a jumbled mess, y'all. It's kind of a jumbled mess. But really, we can ride the wave of this full moon and really do some good stuff. Now, it does depend on the sign that you're in. There's a lot of fixed energy. So the name of the game, I think, really for everybody across the board, is to stay flexible. And that's not always easy, especially when we have our goals and we know what we want and all that. But again, if somebody wants to abruptly take a turn, take a change, make a change, and there was a dependency, an interdependency there, well, it's time to just be flexible. Let somebody live out their world as they see fit, and you get busy taking care of your business. Okay, that's pretty much as simple as it gets. At the bottom of the deck, we've got number 18, which is number 9, hierarchy number, spirals of manifestation. All according to your own energy. And you know what? Even though that sounds a little scary, that's really exalted. That's one of the gifts of the human being. We can direct the flow, don't you know? All right, we got number 10, releasing allegiances. We were just talking about the release of stuff. Release stuff. Look, if there's something in your world that takes a turn, release it with some grace. Okay? Release it with some grace, because that is going to give you the energy and the enthusiasm to fill up that space with what you really want to see. Try hard not to energetically grip or even actually grip anything that wants to secede from your union, okay? Because, and even if you want to make those changes, try not to hold yourself back. Be ready to get to the work of releasing allegiances that no longer serve your purpose. No, it's not easy, but it's not as hard as you think, and it certainly will serve your purpose. Okay, so what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm going to make sure she's not naked, and I'm going to post this card that we got, our Oracle card du jour, number 10, releasing allegiances, and the copy from the book, because this is a very thoughtful book and you'll want to read this on your own. Okay, it's probably 2.5 pages. They're all pretty long, and I will post this on the community page, so please be free to go over to the community page, pick up what they are laying down, because this might mean something big to you, especially with the number 10. I mean, the number 10, that's like the end turns into 1, which is the new beginning. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of releasing, there's a lot of stopping, but there's also that motion of right around the corner, starting and filling, and long-term visions, long-term energy. There's a lot of long-term energy with this stuff, so please watch your focus. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to prepare you, okay? All right. Thank you for being here, y'all, so much. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up. It really does help push me up in the algorithm, and that's always great for me, teeny tiny. And I will definitely see you soon for another reading. Take care. I'm sending you lots of love. You got this. We got this. Let's tip that scale back into balance, okay? And we can do it. It's just us. Us with us. We can do it. All right. I'll see you soon.